Could Jamaica's long-lost dream of striking oil finally become a reality? In this video, we dive into Jamaica's 80-year quest for oil, from hopeful beginnings in the 1950s to today's exciting discoveries that could finally strike black gold. Could this be the game changer Jamaica's been waiting for? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome all patriotic Jamaicans. The movement continues. Make we get into it now. Let's kick it off. Jamaica, once upon a time, in a land of reggae and rum, there was a dream to strike black gold. For almost 80 years, brave souls have scoured Jamaica, both onshore and offshore, in search of oil. Yes, folks, the search for oil in Jamaica is older than some of our grandparents' vinyl records. Jamaica, the journey began in the 1950s with hopeful drilling here, there, and everywhere. Fast forward to today, and it seems like the optimism has hit a new high. So what's changed? Jamaica, earlier this year, United Oil and Gas, along with the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, threw a fancy investor soiree in London. Jamaica, picture it. Fine wine, polished speeches, and an air of "we know something you don't." I wonder what could that be? Jamaica, and here's why everyone's buzzing. They've potentially found 7 billion barrels of oil. That's right, folks. We're talking about 3.5 million football pitches worth of oil-rich land. Even consultant Iman Hill couldn't hold back, calling it massive acreage. We are now looking at early commercialization, whatever that means. Brian Larkin, the big boss at United Oil and Gas, is even more excited. He claims the oil reserves could be game-changing and double Jamaica's GDP. And let's not forget the staggering 3.5 trillion potential value. Jamaica, but before you grab your pitchforks and start digging in your backyard, there's a small catch. They still need to prove it's actually oil down there and not just oily water. Plus, it's going to cost a pretty penny, 30 million to be exact, to drill and confirm the findings. Jamaica, and now for the not so sunny side of things. Jamaica, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The possibility of this being yet another chapter in colonial exploitation. Yes, we are gonna go there. So Jamaica, history has shown us time and time again that foreign interests often reap the lion's share of the profits, leaving local communities with mere crumbs. Could this be a repeat? There's a risk that Jamaica might see just a fraction of the potential profits. Jamaica, imagine all that oil wealth flowing out of the country with minimal benefits for the Jamaican people and economy. Jamaica, the big players like United Oil and Gas might get richer, while Jamaicans still struggle with the same old economic challenges. The fear is that this could widen the gap between the wealthy and the rest, perpetuating a cycle of dependence and underdevelopment. Jamaica, we need assurance that any oil wealth will benefit Jamaicans, creating jobs, improving infrastructures, and boosting our economy. Otherwise, it's just history repeating itself. Jamaica, it's a delicate balance. On one hand, there's incredible potential for economic transformation. On the other, the haunting shadow of exploitation looms large. Alright, Jamaica, let's break this down into something digestible and sprinkle in some humor and some sarcasm to keep it light. Here's the scoop on United Oil and Gas and their big plans in Jamaica. The big oil and aluminum dream. United Oil PLC, a British company, is all hyped up about finding oil and gas off Jamaica's south coast. They've even hinting that Jamaica could jump into the aluminum production game if they hit the jackpot with hydrocarbons. Sounds like a shiny new future, right? But hold your horses, let's break it down. Slick talk of big profits. Jamaica, United Oil is like that slick friend who promises you a piece of their lottery winnings, but only if you help buy the ticket. They believe there are about 7 billion barrels of oil lurking under Jamaican waters. To get their hands on it, they're courting investors to share the hefty bill of drilling. During a recent investor shindig, they pitched this grand vision. If they find oil, they could power up Jamaica's struggling bauxite industry, turning raw bauxite into high-value aluminum products right here on the island. They showed some fancy slides and figures to make it look super tempting. Next, the bauxite roller coaster. Jamaica, let's talk bauxite. Once upon a time, Jamaica was bauxite royalty, no joke, churning out 15 million tons of the stuff in 2006. Fast forward to 2023, and that number has plummeted to just over 6 million tons. Most of it gets shipped off as raw ore or partially refined alumina, meaning Jamaica sees a fraction of potential profits. Now let's move on to the energy hub, Mirage, where them pitch to Jamaica. United Oil isn't stopping at bauxite. They've got their eyes set on making Jamaica the Caribbean's energy hub, distributing oil and gas far and wide. It sounds grand, but the reality is like trying to build a mansion with pocket change. The backstory. United Oil strutted into Jamaica in 2017, partnering with Tullow Oil for a 20% equity stake, then bought the whole license in 2020. They have until January 2026 to decide if they're really going to drill or just drop the whole idea. Spoiler alert, they seem pretty set on drilling by January 2028. They are eyeing the Walton-Morant block, a stretch of sea twice the size of Jamaica itself. They've got pretty pictures of oil seeps and potential fields around St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, claiming these could churn out over million barrels of oil a day. The numbers game. Jamaica, they're boasting about 21 potential drilling sites with prospects of 7 billion barrels of oil, plus a whisper of nearly 5 billion more barrels. If they hit the motherlode, Jamaica could leap to the 16th biggest oil producers in the world, ahead of countries like Brazil and Mexico. That's a lot of black gold. So if you have countries like Brazil and Mexico, where oil rich, why then country they still so poor? You know why then country they still so poor and have a third world status? It's because of economic exploitations by these big conglomerates. Because these companies have no intention of actually helping the country where they find oil in. They're all about exploitation and furthering their interests and their agenda. So trust me, if they find this 7 billion barrels of oil in Jamaica, we will still be a third world country 20 years from now. Maybe even worse off than we're there right now. Moving on. The catch. Jamaica, here's the kicker. United Oil has already sunk US 40 million into this venture, and now they need more investors to fund the actual drilling. It's like paying for an expensive fishing trip with no guarantees you'll catch anything. Now, let's jump into the dark side. Jamaica now, let's get real. These big overseas companies often swoop in with promises of riches but leave behind a mess. They rake in massive profits while the local economy barely gets a sniff of the benefits. Jamaica has seen this movie before. Bad deals, underdeveloped infrastructure, and little to no lasting prosperity. We've been there, done that. Aluminum is red gold. Never get it twisted. Don't forget that. Aluminum is still valuable. The world still needs aluminum. 100%. We rich in aluminum, that never benefit our economy one bit. It never move from a third world status to a second or a first world status. We're still economically undeveloped. So it shows you how these company has always been exploiting Jamaica. These companies seems and make it look like them a grant Jamaica a favor, because they provide employments for locals. Locals get paid, tax come out of their money, NHT, NIS, PAYE. Them go supermarket, go shop. Them go car mart. So them say, oh, yeah man, so we are stimulating economy there. No, that's not real economic growth. Jamaica, this is the question, the most important question of all. Why not Jamaica? Why can't Jamaica spearhead and fund such projects on its own, like other countries do? The short answer, money and political will. Jamaica needs better deals and smarter investments. Otherwise, it's just another chapter in the long story of exploitation by big foreign companies. Jamaica needs patriotic leadership. Yes, we don't have any patriots. Our leaders are misleaders. Our leaders don't have a bone of patriotism and true love for them people and them country. Talk is cheap, free Wi-Fi. You can come around every 4 years when election time and do this and do that, and then you vanish until election time again. We've seen this movie before. There we hope again. Jamaica's oil dream have seen many company come and go. Each time promises were made, hopes were raised, and then poof, the companies packed up and left. But our resilient island has kept the faith. Jamaica, imagine the possibilities: energy independence, wiping out 2 billion in oil imports, and even tackling that pesky foreign debt. Jamaica could finally dance to the rhythm of prosperity. But there we begin to hope again. Here are some questions people might have about Jamaican oil exploration project, along with answers to those questions. Question number 1. How will potential oil discovery benefit the average Jamaican citizen? Answer: if managed well, the oil discovery could lead to energy independence, reducing the country's reliance on expensive oil imports, and potentially lowering energy costs for consumers. Additionally, it could create job opportunities in the oil sector and related industries, stimulate economic growth, and fund infrastructure projects, education, and healthcare. Question number 2. What guarantees are there that the profits from the oil will stay in Jamaica and benefit the local economy? Answer: the Jamaican government would need to negotiate favorable terms with oil companies to ensure a fair share of the profits. This could include setting up local content policies that require a certain percentage of jobs and contracts to go to Jamaicans, and establishing a sovereign wealth fund to manage and invest the oil revenues for long-term national benefit. Question number 3. How can Jamaica avoid the pitfalls of colonial exploitation and ensure that the oil wealth benefits its people? Answer: transparency and accountability are key. Jamaica can learn from other countries' experiences by implementing strong regulatory frameworks, ensuring public oversight of contracts and revenues, and fostering partnerships that prioritize local development, engaging civil society, and maintaining open communication with the public about the oil exploration and its impacts can also help safeguard national interests. Question number 4. What are the environmental risks associated with oil drilling, and how will they be managed? Answer: oil drilling carries risks such as spills, habitat destruction, and pollution. To mitigate these, strict environmental regulations and monitoring must be in place. Companies should adhere to international best practices, and the government should conduct thorough environmental impact assessments before approving any drilling activities. Investing in cleanup and response capabilities is also crucial. Question number 5. Will the local communities be displaced or negatively affected by the oil exploration activities? Answer: the government and oil companies need to engage with local companies from the start, addressing their concerns and ensuring that they are not disproportionately affected. This includes fair compensation for any land use, providing alternative livelihoods, and involving community members in decision-making processes related to the exploration activities. Question number 6. What if the oil exploration doesn't yield commercially viable quantities of oil? Answer. While there is always a risk that explorations might not result in commercially viable oil production, the data so far is promising. However, it's essential to have contingency plans in place, diversifying the economy, and continuing to invest in other sectors, such as tourism, agriculture, and renewable energy can help cushion the impact if oil exploration does not meet expectations. Question number 7. How will the oil discovery impact Jamaica's debt situation? Answer. Successful oil production could significantly reduce Jamaica's debt burden by providing substantial revenue to pay down existing debt and reduce the need for future borrowing. However, this depends on prudent financial management and ensuring that oil revenues are not misused or squandered. Question number 8. What role will foreign companies play in the oil exploration, and how will Jamaica retain control over its resources? Answer. Foreign companies bring expertise and investment necessary for large-scale oil exploration. Jamaica can retain control by setting clear terms in contracts that prioritize national interests, maintaining ownership of resources, and ensuring that any foreign involvement is aligned with Jamaica's long-term development goals. It's that simple. Question number 9. How will the oil revenues be used to address existing social inequalities in Jamaica? Answer. The government should prioritize using oil revenues to fund social programs aimed at reducing poverty, improving education, and providing better health care, establishing a transparent mechanism for revenue distribution, and investing in projects that have a direct positive impact on underprivileged communities can help address social inequalities. Question number 10. What lessons can Jamaica learn from other countries that have discovered oil? Answer. Jamaica can learn from both the successes and failures of other oil-producing countries. Key lessons include the importance of establishing a strong regulatory framework, ensuring transparency and accountability, investing in long-term development projects, and avoiding over-reliance on oil revenues by diversifying the economy. These questions and answers aim to address common concerns and provide a balanced perspective on the potential benefits and challenges of oil exploration in Jamaica. Stay tuned to see if this time the dream becomes reality. And if you're curious about the wild ups and downs of Jamaica's oil saga, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more intriguing stories from around the world. Thanks for watching. And remember to comment down below. Leave your thoughts, questions, and concerns. One love, Jamaica.